Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I'd like to have a private moment with you, if I may. You've heard me oftentimes talk about God. And in my presentations, I have occasionally talked down on every facet of society and called them equally responsible for the conditions of the world that we live in today. But I just did not say that to be nasty, just to be a little critical because I know that most of you, for one reason or another, don't understand. And for those of you who do understand, have a reason or an excuse to complacently go along. And I have often, as I said, used God as a stepping point because for one reason or another we've all been given some indoctrination on God. Truth be told, I have talked about God in the best way I have ever heard God spoken of. And it hasn't made a difference in the world, though I've tried to say it. But I want to be a little bit more frank with you today and say this. I have been taught that there is a God through all of the various means for which you have yourselves been taught. And I've accepted that as a premise. And others, for one reason or another, have found it expedient to deny or decry any such assumptions. And indeed, they really are, even though it has been professed to us in such a melodic manner that it is easy for us to understand and accept things as they have been presented without question, and especially when it's a traditional thing. And I have been victim to that, as many of you have. But there's one thing I must be honest with you to say, that if my life depended on it, I would probably agree that there is a God, undoubtedly, because I know so much more is being done than I can do, that we refuse to do. So it gets done, it must be a God. But the truth be known, I really don't know that there's a God in every instance that is the same. For instance, I have said God wanted such and such and such. But if I really wanted to be honest with you and tell you the truth that I can verify, I would say to you, I want my dream to come true. And I think you should be interested in my dream. Because in my dream, every last one of your dreams come true. Now, I understand that there are various reasons why you would have disagreed. And many of you would agree, but have refused to take a stand. It doesn't matter what you want. It's what I want that I'm speaking for. I want every man, every woman, and every child, every old person, every young person, every smart person, and as some of us might call every educationally, psychologically as well, challenged. Every human being, not just in America, but on the earth. Now, why do I say on the earth? Because it is one thing to care about all Americans, or whatever your country might be. It is one thing to want that, to rever that. But it is another thing to want all the people on the earth. To me, to want all people on earth is a greater love than just wanting your kind. Every person to be happy and to have their dreams come true. To have available to them whatever is required of their dreams. My understanding, as I see things, is that that is the perfect design, because every last one of you wants your dreams to come true. But you haven't been able to acquire or to reach that. And I want it reached. And I am convinced that you don't know how to reach it. And so I want to tell you to how to reach it. And I'm not just talking. I know exactly what I'm saying is the absolute solution. I know it. But I have had a very difficult time trying to awake you from the great sleep that you're in, this indoctrination that you've accepted, even though you think you're the greatest thing since Jesus. And I don't mean to be bashing you, but what I want to say to you is this, is that for every last one of your dreams to come true, you have to change. You have to change. You have to put that philosophy down that some of you are better than others, that some of you are more deserving than others, that some of you got greater talents than others, and that you have better worth. You've got to put that aside because your dreams are not valuable when your dreams trample on the dreams of others. And there is a way that everybody's dream can come true. I have mentioned it to you, and let me tell you why. Or maybe I should just refer you to some of my other recordings. Let me tell you how much I want you to believe and change your ways. Many years of speaking this to you, and you seemingly too blind to see. I have found myself going outside of the box, trying to get your attention, trying to shake you, to wake you. I have committed crimes against the state in order to try to get an attention from you, to say to you that your dreams are squashed by your own actions. I have committed, you might say, well, what have you done? Let me tell you what I've done. On one occasion, having an employer that had access to money, I took at one point a certain amount of money and gave it away to whomever I chose. And I went to the employer and I mentioned that I had done so, and I told them why. I told them I needed the attention of the people. I'm trying to wake a sleeping monster. And I wanted to be arrested, and I encouraged him to press charges against me. And those charges were pressed. Why did I do this? Because I wanted you to know to what extent I'm convinced that what I'm telling you will open the door for your dreams to come true. And going into this court system was to give me an opportunity for those of you who were paying any little amount of attention to hear it, to see it. If anybody wanted to print about it, to do so. To let you know that you are that important. And that your way of trying to achieve your dreams is nothing but destroying you. And if you didn't wake up, if you didn't see the light, then I would have to pay the price. And I was willing to pay the price because the reward, if you could wake up, was so much better. But you didn't wake up, and I paid the price. And I have done that several times trying to wake you. And yet, when I break the law, you look at me like I'm some criminal. All the time, this is a statement to tell you how asleep you are. And even this can't wake you. But you mean that much to me. You mean just that much to me that I take these risks. That I take these risks that they might open up a door that will let the cold air in on your sleep and cause you to stir, cause you to move, and perhaps awake. And you will see that your dreams are wrapped up in the dreams of everyone else. That we are here to apply the skills, the gifts and talents that we have in creating what our interests are tied and connected to the interest of others and the common interest of being a great provider of our education, our health care, and making sure that we have peace and prosperity and joy, that we have the homes of our dreams. We travel like we want to, that life is beautiful and we're glad to be alive. That's what I want for you. And it's all wrapped up in you treating one another like you want to be treated. Now, I want that more than anything else in life. And I've staked my life on it. I am willing to die, to be a seed to be planted, just so you will know how much I want this to come true for you. I don't want people committing crime and violence because there's been so much injustice. I don't want people taking advantage of others and going into war and causing terrorism against the nations and bombing this and that, when all you have to do is treat people like you want to be treated. It's a very bold and crazy statement to say that the nations of the world have been trained against such a division as this. And yet, it is the answer to your prayer. And if you start listening to me, there will come all forces, all kinds of forces to try to discredit this guy. But remember, it is not this guy that in the flesh that is wrapped up here. It is the spirit that is wrapped up in this flesh that cares about you. Now, I don't know why I care like this. If there's a God who made me, he wrapped me up this way. And maybe that's God's way of saying how much God loves you. I just know I'm bound to do it. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. You're missing your dreams. And I'm going through pure hell trying to wake you up. Wake up. Bye-bye.